Oliap, welcome back to another episode of the Oliap podcast, the last week of November as we wrap up this month's theme of the digestive system. And if you're like me, it's one of your favorite times of year because it's Thanksgiving. You get to see friends and family. You get to just have a feast with them. And you also just get to enjoy life, watching football, whatever you may do, play football outside. It's one of my favorite times of year, but it's also one of the hardest days of year for me because I tend to eat food I am not used to, like, stuffing or dressing, depending where part of the country you live in, turkey, which I don't digest super well, and so much more. So this is actually one of my favorite days of the year, but also one of the hardest days of the year. So I wanted to bring Jim Bob Haggerton on again to talk about this day, a day that a lot of people may not realize they have a lot of tools in their Oli toolbox to help them do this day. And Jim Bob, before we jump back into this episode and this topic, I wanted to say that I shared my testimony a few weeks ago and how I used to be on Zofran. I had my gallbladder removed, which is a whole topic in and of itself. I should never have done that. But because of that, I've had issues, and I used to be on 3 Zofran a day. Myra introduced me to Digestive, and through that and through Essential 4 and Allerzyme and all these supplements I'm on, I am now, I think, 3 years without taking a Zofran, which is just mind-blowing to me. But a lot of people don't know that they have natural tools that they can use to support the digestive system, especially this week, Jim Bob. So once again, welcome on to this episode and take it away, brother.
Well, thanks for having me back again. So Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that stuff was really interesting to me because, coming from a family living in the South and having big family get-togethers every holiday, and there being such a social and emotional attachment to food around the holiday, meaning there's going to be food there and you would probably not eat it, but if you don't eat it, grandma's going to get offended and mad at you, or your mom's going to beat you down and you're going to get excommunicated from the family. So there's a ton of pressure in a lot of different families, especially if you're from the South. If you're from the North and everybody's super cool about it, then you are blessed. It's different down here. But so what I would say is, this time of year, it takes a lot of intentional planning if you do not want to derail your health for a few days, or you don't want to have to play catch up, right?
Exactly.
Part of the thing about doing well over Thanksgiving is doing well before Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
If you're the person that's oh my gosh, I haven't done anything for my health, I don't move consistently, I don't work out, I don't take anything, I don't use my oils, then you don't have anything to worry about it. You shouldn't worry about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's not a day for you to decide to get healthy. Just go for it, enjoy the crud out of it. You're not going to feel any worse than you did before. And then pick a day, probably first of the year, get through the holidays and just have fun. And then after the holidays, then get serious about it and get a plan, because it's a lot easier. It's definitely not the time the day before Thanksgiving to go, you know what? I think I need to lose 20 pounds and get really healthy. That's not it. My hormones are off. I think I need to do good. Hey, can you pass some more of the stuffing? That doesn't work.
Yeah.
But it's because so many people just don't have a plan, right?
Exactly.
Don't have a plan to get healthy, but they don't have a plan to stay healthy either. So the other category of people are the ones that are rolling into Thanksgiving. They're like Hannah, they're like Myra, they're like me and Ernie, where they have a workout plan. They do things, for their health. They're eating a specific way. And then here comes Thanksgiving Day. And so many of the dishes that they're going to fix at Thanksgiving cannot be modified to be that healthy. Exactly. Even if they can, there may not be ways for it to really, not screw up your system. So it's a thing of going, okay, there's a couple of choices you got to make. Number one is, how much can I do on that day? How much can I get away with without really setting my system off? Exactly. What am I trying to prevent? Is there something specific going on in me that I don't want to flare up? And some things that I would say is if there's people in here that are listening to this and you have specific food allergies and weaknesses, like you are severely intolerant to gluten, then there's no it's fine on Thanksgiving Day. There's not a day off on those type things.
Yeah.
And so I would say the plan on that, there's not an oily toolbox for that. There is a one word toolbox. It's just no, thank you.
Exactly.
That's it. Man, I love you. That green bean casserole looks incredible. And I'm going to let them eat it. And I'm going to eat this over here because I have an autoimmune condition. I have a thyroid problem. I have Hashimoto's. I have whatever. If you have one of those things, normally it's easier to say no because you can just blame it on the thing. Hey, I'm dealing with this. I'm working on this problem. Don't make me eat that because it's going to flare me up. Okay. So I would encourage you on that. Number two is just be intentional about it up front and have a plan before you get to the meal. Don't walk in and your cousin made her famous rolls. You've got turkey and stuffing, and then dirt cake and Mississippi mud for dessert, and all of these things, pecan pie with Cool Whip, and you have no plan. And by the time you realize it, you've had everything, because you're like, dude, and you feel horrible, right?
Yeah.
Because the people that have not really done the work to get a health plan together and have been doing things for their health, they're not going to feel horrible out. They may feel full after Thanksgiving, but you're not going to feel terrible.
Yeah.
Hannah is going to feel terrible after Thanksgiving if she eats junk food, because she does so much work to try to not eat that stuff every day of the year. And so if you roll in, and like for her, if she has a tryptophan sensitivity, or she's slightly allergic to turkey, and she goes, oh, it's fine, I don't want to offend them, I don't want to offend Myra or whoever she eats, and she goes and eats a ton of it, she's going to get sick, because she knows their body doesn't react to that. And so it's just being intentional on that side and having a plan. So rolling in and going, hey, and really loading up on vegetables early. Like I would say, like the plan for the meal is to try to get really full on things that you know are going to be good for you. Like maybe not the green bean casserole, but the green beans over here, the sweet potatoes, scoop off the marshmallows, like whatever it is for you, like, or maybe leave the marshmallows. That's like a small potatoes compared to like these things over here you react to.
Yeah.
Like load up on the vegetables and load up on the protein. And so that way, by the time they go, hey, do you want a double portion of pecan pie? You can be like, dude, I am like way full. I can't handle it. Exactly. And it like fills you up, right? The other thing I would say is drink a ton of water and go easy on sugary drinks. Eat your calories, don't drink them. I mean, this is a huge thing. And over the holidays, it's a bigger deal. Drinking your calories, your body doesn't recognize the calories as well. And so you'll drink way more calories than you will eat, because eating burns energy and you get tired. Like that's why everybody's like, oh my God, I'm exhausted of eating at the holidays. This is true. Like you get tired. You're eating so much stuff. I mean, that's why you cannot overeat at a buffet, really, because you get tired, right? And so you'll stop at a certain point, right? But if we're like, you're pounding sweet tea, you're pounding all stuff, doesn't mean you can have it. It just means like, if you're pounding all these sugary drinks, you'll get way more calories in that way, because your body doesn't recognize it.
Exactly.
As far as like products and stuff to help you with the meal, the thing that I would do is, even before Thanksgiving, a few days before, start loading up every day with enzymes in your system, like Essential Zyme, Detox Zyme, Essential Zyme 4. You can use those blister pack ones. My favorite is combining Essential Zyme with Detox Zyme, the regular one. I use those together, and getting enzymes in your system, so you have a bunch of active enzymes in your system by the time you get there to help you break down the food, right? Because so much of the food that you're eating, your body can't break down anyways, because it's synthetic, or it's not, or it's cooked to death, like because it's the way that it's canned cranberry sauce, like fake cranberries, fanberries, cranberries. But like all those things, the body just can't recognize. It's like, oh, it looks like a cranberry, but it's not, and so it's trying to figure out what to do, or this looks like, a dairy, I think, but it's some, it's Cool Whip. They didn't make whipping cream. Someone just got a Cool Whip can, or whatever the thing is. So just like loading up on enzymes alone, even if that's the only thing you did, or you added in more multigreens, would be huge. Like would massively change your gut and support it and help it a whole lot. Increasing your probiotics obviously is important and help, but the enzymes are an active thing that helps quicker. It's going to help you break down the food. As far as oils go, the majority of the thing, like Digest is the number one digestive supporting oil that I would say during that time period to use topically on the stomach, like you were talking about, to help with digestive function and just promote function in that system. The rest of function of essential oils during the holidays for me and for us is emotional support to help you deal with family, and just to help set the mood and to keep you working through the stress of holidays. Because holidays is awesome, but it's busier, and you're around a ton of people that you're not normally around for longer than you're normally around them, around schedules and food and this and serving. And so it gets stressful, right? And so using oils to keep your stress levels down and to make sure that you're, being a loving human is important, because if you can keep your stress levels down, then your digestive system functions better, And so that's what I would, really recommend, on that. The other thing, like alkaline packets are great after the fact to help keep your pH balance. But man, the enzymes and Digest are where it's at for the holiday eating.
Well, JB, as always, seriously, you're the best. Appreciate you coming on. And once again, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Feel free to go back and listen to our previous podcast episodes on this month for digestive system. We have a lot of exciting things coming in December, so you don't want to miss out on that. But for myself and Jim Bob, thank you so much for being a part of the Oleat family. We love you. We appreciate you. And we just want to be here to encourage you to take control of your health one day, one supplement, one drop at a time.
Bye, guys.
See ya.